We're a domestic airline, but this year, we're going global!
Little is really known about the Philippines. Most of the world watches about this country, except for the greatness of Manny Pacman Pacquiao, come from the global media companies that send reporters on the ground, covering politics, civil unrest, insurgencies, and a controversial president. But really, we are missing on the real fun side of this archipelagic country that lies between the Great Pacific Ocean. So what do we have aside from politics, unrest, and beautiful faces? Well, this country is actually rich in many ways. To do that, we'd like to introduce you to 5 richest cities in the Philippines. Makati City. As of latest count, this city is worth 4.48 billion US dollars. As the business capital of the Philippines, it is the country's wealthiest city.
How do you rally the board of directors to your side and stave off impending bankruptcy?
With high-rise buildings and top-of-the-line technology at hand, it is the perfect business conducive environment. Yes, it is considered a techno city, and so is the favorite main office location of the top global corporations.
I'll have my secretary get back to you on that one.
The city houses 40% of the top 1,000 multinational and local businesses, bringing to more than 60,000 the number of establishments in its premises, including 4,000 banks and financial institutions. In the city, on its clean and even walkways, you will find folks trotting through the side streets with their classy shoes and suits.
Lovely.
But don't worry, you can still walk around the city with shirts, shorts, slippers without being noticed as underdressed. Aside being the richest city in the country, Makati is also the 4th safest city in Southeast Asia. On top of that, it ranks 7 out of the 11 cities that have the cleanest air in the Southeast. Anyway, even the city center has residential areas and cuddles numerous classy hotels, trendy shopping centers, and a diverse array of restaurants and bars to go to after that busy and fulfilling day. Here, you can do business and unwind all in the same day and within the same vicinity, Makati style. Baguio City. This is the most famous city up north. As the summer capital of the Philippines, you can expect a really cool climate that turns really cooler in the months of December, January, and until February. Recently, the lowest temperature recorded was at 9.4 degrees Celsius.
Close the tent now, it's freezing.
Be sure to bring some thick clothing when you up to this city.
It's a lot colder now too. I've got fur. Take my sweater.
Elevated mainly on a plateau, 1,400 meters or 4,600 feet above sea level, Baguio's wealth lies in its tourist spots and the rich Cordilleran culture that spices up almost all aspects of the city life. With clean and green parks, cheap vegetables, nice and kind taxi drivers, and foggy early mornings, Baguio is flocked by tourists all year round. It was during the American colonization period in the 1900s when the city began developing to what it is now. Seeing the beauty of the place, cool weather, and friendly locals, the American soldiers and civilians began to form parts of it into health resorts so they could take some rest from the hot temperature in the low-lying lands.
It's chillier out here than Angelina Jolie.
The Americans and the Cordilleran relatively seem to have liked each other, such that they worked side by side in building the city. When the Americans left, they also left behind most of the parks that attract tourists every day, including Burnham Park, Mines View Park, Camp John Hay, and Bell House. To this day, cowboy country music is still the favorite music of the tribal folks, often blending nicely into their modern Cordilleran tunes. Cebu City. Cebu City is a port city in Cebu province in Central Visayas region. As of latest, the city's worth is at 660 million US dollars, making it the richest among all other cities in the Visayas. However, its real treasure to its 16th century Spanish colonial past.
Haven't you ever seen my Spanish soap operas?
Historical heritage sites like the Basilica Minore del Santo Niño Church and Triangular Fort San Pedro are in Cebu City. Being historically rich, Cebu City is the country's oldest settlement of the Spanish colonizers. The Spanish affair began in 1521 when the Portuguese navigator Ferdinand Magellan, who was hired by Spanish royalty, landed in Mactan Island in Cebu.
Bueno.
However, Magellan was killed by the muscled and tattooed guise of chieftain Lapu-Lapu. On April 27, 1565, Miguel Lopez de Legazpi and his gang came back and founded the first Spanish settlement. Along with it is the Roman Catholic religious missionaries that went to all other parts of the Philippine Islands. Although, under harsh Spanish rule, the same colonization paved the opening of Cebu to international trade in 1865. To this day, Cebu City is a busy trading and business hub with goods from other islands as far as Mindanao are brought and traded here. Copra, abaca, sugar, timber, and fish, Cebu City has also been recognized independently from the Philippines and is known as a city in the Pacific, serving local and international flights for local and foreign tourists and business people. Other products of the city include textiles, footwear, processed foods,
People like this food. It makes them happy.
vegetable oil, furniture, and industrial chemicals. On top of this, the city also manufactures cosmetics, candles, pearl, jewelry, and music instruments such as guitars and ukuleles. Davao City. Down south in mainland Mindanao, Davao City is a king among the cities.
I'm the king of the world!
In 2018, the National Audit Body tagged Davao City as the richest city in Mindanao for 3 years in a row. During that year, Davao City's total assets reached around $325 million. Most Filipinos know that Davao City is the hometown of the Philippine President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, and the current mayor is his daughter, Sara Duterte Carpio. Decades ago, Davao was a melting pot of crime and disorder. This chaotic disorder began to clear up only when Rodrigo Duterte, fresh his stint as city prosecutor, took over as city mayor.
I have successfully privatized world peace.
What makes Davao City rich is its people, having attuned themselves to the peace and order policies that began at the time of Rodrigo Duterte. Davao City residents value order, observe cleanliness, and even follow traffic rules.
All right, finally, some peace and quiet so I can buckle down and get some writing done.
So if you're driving a car in the city, focus your mind on the following traffic rules, unless you're ready for the penalties.
That one's the death penalty.
For Davao City, an orderly and honest government inspires the people. This inspiration is followed by efficient tax payments and collection and the influx of business investors. The efficient tax collection that is pouring budgets into the city coffers and annual budget is delivering tangible progress as the city creates more jobs for its people as well as for residents from nearby areas. Puerto Princesa City.
I say we call it Griswold Springs.
In the western part of the Visayas, beautiful Puerto Princesa City is the richest when it comes to natural resources and diversity. It is also the largest city in the country, with a land area of 253,982 hectares. Although already a city, Puerto Princesa has retained its indigenous vegetation, paradise-like rainforests, sprawling mangroves, and diverse ecosystem. Marvel at the mountain ranges that slope down to mingle with the clean sea waters.
Oh, water's perfect.
So nice.
The city has vast swamplands on its east and groups of mountains on its west. This princess among all the cities has the famous Puerto Princesa Subterranean River National Park. The park is a World Heritage Site with rich varieties of indigenous plants and animals. The underground river is 8.2 kilometers long and can be navigated. Local and foreign tourists and nature lovers alike flock to Puerto Princesa to experience this wonderful treat and get that natural high with nature. But just like Davao City, Puerto Princesa is rich also because of its people. While other cities have been messed with by its own populace, Puerto Princesa is a queen in the eyes of its own people. Its beauty lasts as long as its people care for all its natural wonders.
The minerals that are in this mud here, they draw toxins out of your body.
If you like our video, Give us a like and show us some love and support by clicking the subscribe button and ring that bell to get notified for more other great videos.